everybody, it's Alyssa. Welcome back to my channel. Sorry for the way that I look. I just hate putting on makeup just for a video, so that's why I look like I just got out of bed, because I did. But today I am doing my October TBR video. Most people dress in like cute Halloween outfits and do like cute Halloween makeup for their TBR, but I'm doing the opposite of looking cute. I'm gonna look like a ghost in this video for my Halloween TBR because I am being very ambitious this month with my TBR, because these are a lot of books that I most likely won't even get to half of them, but we're going to try, okay? We're going to try. I'm going to be doing 2 readathons this month. The beginning of the month, I'll be doing the Hocus Pocus readathon, and then near the end of the month, I'm going to be doing the Spookathon by Books and Lala. So I'm going to tell you the prompts and then the book that goes with it. That's 9 books, and last month I read 6, so I think I could possibly do it, but many of these books are pretty big. So first I'm going to get started with the Hocus Pocus readathon. This is from October 1st, which is today, to the 13th. I'm going to be doing a reading vlog for those as well. So this is my reading journal. I did Team Trick-or-Treaters. I'll put all the information down below for the readathon if you guys would like to join it. It's not too late to join. You just put in your username, you follow the prompts, and you can check off and earn points for the team. And then at the end, we see whose team wins. There's like 3 different teams, I think. So I printed them out, and then I also made like a little TBR spread for it as well. I'm just gonna go from the first prompt to the last for Team Trick-or-Treaters, which is what I am. And each team has different prompts. So each team has different stuff that they would pick from, which I think is pretty cool. So the first prompt for the Hocus Pocus readathon is read a spine-tingling book. So the first book I picked is Carrie by Stephen King. It's been on my TBR for a while. It's a pretty small book. I could honestly finish this in a day if I wanted to. And I believe this is the first book that Stephen King ever wrote. Don't quote me on that, but this is a horror book. If you don't know what Carrie's about, there's a lot. I think there's a couple different movies of the retelling of this book, but it's about a girl named Carrie who has these special powers, and she gets bullied at school, but then people start being kind to her, and then they do something, I don't remember what it is, but they do something bad to humiliate her, and she basically just like murders everyone. So sounds awesome, what a queen. But I'm very excited to read this. I've been wanting to read it for a while, but like I said, it's a pretty small book. I can finish it in like a day. The next book is read a book by a flashlight. So at night, have a flashlight on and read it. I picked Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets because I want to read the next book in the Harry Potter series, because I read the first book a couple months ago. And I feel like this is a good book to read by a flashlight, just because, I don't know, it's like Harry Potter, Hogwarts, and like a flashlight. I just feel like it would be fun to read it by a flashlight. So I'm not going to talk about what Harry Potter's about. You guys know what Harry Potter is about. The next is read a fantasy novel, which you guys know I don't read fantasy very often, but I'm doing Sorcery of Thorns by Margaret Robertson. This came in one of my Owl Crate subscription boxes. I didn't go out and like physically seek this book because I know it is a very high fantasy book that I don't really read too often, but since it's part of the prompts, I decided to go ahead and pick it up because the cover of this is absolutely stunning. But from what I understand, it's about this girl who either like lives in a library, or there's like this magical library that she's in, and in the books there's like demons and monsters that can come out of the books. Basically the library is like alive, and there's like I was told it's like a Beauty and the Beast retelling, so I'm hoping that's what it's about because I love Beauty and the Beast. And I've heard really good reviews on BookTube about this book, but it is pretty big. I hope I can get through it in these 13 days. The next prompt is read a book that has a squad in it. So I'm going to read the next volume of Orange, which honestly, squad goals, I love them so much. I've talked about the first volume of Orange so many times, and this just continues the first volume. It is very big, but I mean, it's a manga. You can read through it pretty fast. Quickly, just to talk what it's about, if you guys don't know what it's about this girl named Naho who wakes up one morning and she receives a letter from her future self, and her future self is telling her what she should do every day to prevent her new friend at school from committing suicide. And it's a very intense story. I really love it. It's very sad, but it's just so good. If you guys have read it or watched the anime, you know, it's so good. So I have a feeling this volume is going to be a lot more sad than the first volume, just because everything bad goes down in this volume. So I feel like I'm going to to cry. Then the next prompt is listen to an audiobook. I'm actually going to try to finish listening to the audiobook of It by Stephen King. I tried to physically read it, and I think it's just because the book is so big that I'm having a mental break where I can't finish the book. And I don't know if that's just me that ever has that problem. I do enjoy listening to the audiobook, so I'm going to listen to the audiobook of It just whenever I'm doing like my bullet journal or just things like that. And the next prompt is read the group book, which I don't have the group book. It's the Hocus Pocus like sequel book, which I'm probably not gonna buy, or Serpent and Dove, which I don't have either, so I don't know if I'll be able to even really do that prompt. But if I'm being honest with you guys, I've never been a huge fan of the Hocus Pocus movie. Like, I've never really thought it was that good, but this readathon seems fun, so that's why I'm doing it. And then the 7th prompt is watch Hocus Pocus, which it's literally gonna be on freeform like every single night for the entire month of October, so I'm most likely going to watch it. And then the next readathon is Spookathon, which is from October 14th through the 20th, so this is like a week long. So I don't know if I'll be able to read all these books in a week, but this is still going to be on my TBR for the month. So the first prompt is read a thriller. So for this, I'm going to read The Shining by Stephen King. This is actually my Grammy's edition that she bought when it first came out back in the day, as you guys can see how old it is. But I have never even watched the movie. Surprisingly, like, I feel like everybody has watched The Shining. I've seen clips, you know, the iconic clips of like the girls holding hands and like, you know, things like that, but I never actually watched it. But from what I'm understanding, it's about an old hotel that's like haunted, and each room has a different like horror thing going on. And I've heard it's really good. And I might watch the movie this month too after I read it, because I like to watch the Stephen King movies after I read the books, but there's really small writing, so hopefully I can get through this. The next prompt is book with red on the cover. So I'm going to reread Anna Dressed in Blood by Kendar Blake. This is one of my favorite books of all time. It is so cute and so good. It is spooky. It did make me a little spooked out when I read it the first time, but there is red on it, as you guys can see. This book is so good. It's about this guy named Kaz, who is a ghost hunter. He kills demons and ghosts, and he goes around the world, I think with his dad. Oh, sorry, his mother, not his dad. And there is this story in this town that he moves into about this girl named Anna who's dressed in blood, who basically kills every single person who takes step in the house that she was murdered in the 50s. And she's like this young girl with long black hair. She's wearing a white dress that's just covered in blood, and she literally murders every person that comes across her. But for some reason, when Kaz walks into the house, she spares him. That's all I'm really gonna say about it, but it's a really good story. I love Anna. I think she's adorable, and it's so sad the way that she was murdered and everything. So it's a really good story. I'm excited to reread this. It's been, I read it last year, and the one thing I really love about this edition is that the writing is actually in like a light brownish red color. It's not in black, which makes it a lot easier on the eyes to look at, but it just kind of gives it a more spooky vibe as well. Next is a book with a spooky word in the title. So this one was pretty hard because I didn't have many books that have like a spooky word, I don't think. But I recently just bought this book, Undead Girl Gang by Lily Anderson, and I feel like undead is kind of a spooky word. That's why I picked it up. So it's about this Wiccan named Mila, or Mila, I don't know how it's pronounced. I say Mila, but she's a Wiccan who has these powers, and unexpectedly there's some kids at her school that are murdered. She has the power to bring them back to life for a week, and she has to try and help solve their murder, whoever killed them. And it's basically like a mystery witch story. Sounds really good, so I'm excited to check this out. The next prompt is a book with a spooky setting. I picked Remember Me by Chelsea Bubolski. This came in my unplugged book box a couple months ago, I think in August. And I've been wanting to pick it up, but I wanted to wait till this month because I knew it was going to be a little spooky. This is also about a haunted hotel. I don't know why I love the setting of haunted hotels. Like, something about it just like, I just love. But it's about this boy who moves into this very haunted hotel that has a curse in it, and there's a ghost there named Leah who is stuck in that hotel because of a curse, and Neil tries to solve the mystery of the curse and everything to try to break it so Leah can go to heaven or the afterlife or anything like that. So it sounds really good, and it sounds like it's going to be pretty spooky, and the book's pretty small, so I'm hoping that it's good. And the last book on my TBR, which is the biggest book, is Something You Wouldn't Normally Read. So this is Strange the Dreamer by Laini Taylor. I absolutely hate the cover of this book. I think it is hideous with the yellow and the blue. But this was the edition that came in Book Outlet. But this is a high fantasy book. This is something I would definitely not normally read. I picked it up because it was like $3 on Book Outlet, and Books with Chloe loves this book, and we have similar taste. She has more fantasy taste than me, so I decided to get it and read it. All I know is that it's about this war orphan who dreams about visiting this city of Weep, and he has the opportunity to go try to find the city of Weep. But that's literally all that I know about it. That's my extent to the knowledge of this book, but it's a hefty one. It's about 520 pages, so I don't know. Usually it takes me a couple weeks to read books this big just because I'm so busy, but we'll see. But yeah, that was the 9 books that I'm going to attempt to read this month because of the 2 readathons. I was going to do more readathons because there's a lot that people are doing this month. There's the like Jackathon, and I'm sure there's way more that booktubers are doing, which I would love to do, but I know I won't even be able to complete any of these. I just decided to go for these 2 because these seem the most fun to me, and I just wanted to do a Hocus Pocus spread in my bullet journal, even though I don't even really like Hocus Pocus that much, just because it's fun. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Comment down below what books you're planning on reading this month, and if you want to join the Hocus Pocus readathon with me and join my team and we could try to get points together. I'm Team Trick-or-Treaters, but there is Team Undead and Team Sanderson Sisters as well. There is a lot of people in the Team Sanderson Sisters one, so if you guys want to join my team and try to help me, I really want us to win. I doubt we will, considering there's so many people in the Sanderson Sisters one, but I wanted to pick one that not many other people were doing. But I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.